Hey YouTube, it's your boy Seti, and today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. Uh, there was a game that came out recently that I played, I enjoyed, and as you can tell by the title, that game is Mass Effect Andromeda. Now there is a lot of controversy surrounding this game. Now I'm gonna just let you know right up front that I am a fan of Mass Effect. I enjoyed the first trilogy, and I enjoyed Andromeda. I didn't think it was a bad game by any means. Now, that being said, there are definitely some issues with this game. Now, I wrote some things down over here because there's a lot I want to get into, but I'm not gonna go over what everybody knows is wrong with the game. Okay, we all know that the quality is low. Okay, we all know that. We know what they put out there. We all played it. We all saw it. What I'm gonna try to do today is talk about what went wrong with the story, because the game, the first thing I wrote down is that the game is very safe. It is a very safe game. EA and BioWare decided to play patty cake with us. They felt like they didn't want to scare anybody off. They rehashed a lot of the Milky Way, and they allow Ryder to just be kind of an everyday hero kind of person. They didn't take any risks with the story whatsoever. And it does put a damper on the fun a little bit because, right from the beginning, they were saying they didn't want the stakes to be as high in this game. And I think that was a mistake. The stakes could have been life and death from the jump. Instead, they wanted to go the more exploration route, the more discovery route, and it kind of puts a damper on the whole beginning of the game. Now, I'm going to say this. If they would have changed the beginning just slightly, it would have benefited the game greatly. Now, I'm gonna let you know right now, the spoilers, okay? I'm spoiling all this shit because I've gone through it once. I do plan on going through it again. But my first playthrough, I don't know, it kind of just really left me wanting more, and not in a good way. It left me wanting more, you know, effort from BioWare and EA. So the game starts off, you wake up out of cryo, you find a planet, you go down there, your dad gets killed, and you end up bearing the mantle that he had, which was Pathfinder. You end up leaving the planet, making it to the Nexus. You get there, and then you get your ship, and you're off into the game. Now, I don't consider the game to have truly started until I get my ship, and I can freely roam around the quadrant, the sector, the galaxy, whatever you want to call it. I don't consider the game to have truly started until then. So, the prologue of the game is really you finding your Habitat 7, your father getting killed, and you going back to the Nexus. This is a terrible ordering. Okay? A terrible, terrible ordering. Now, I have no problem with the plot points. I just have a problem with how they unfolded. The game would have made a lot more sense if you would have woken up in Sam Node, and instead of being surrounded by your friends, you were surrounded by the Nexus higher ups, Tan, and all those other people that were like directors of their little areas of the Nexus. And if they had been interrogating you about the death of the first Pathfinder, I feel like this would have opened up a chance to sympathize with Ryder, because you never get a chance to sympathize with the loss of your dad, ever. You are not given that opportunity. And it hurts the game. because you just kind of go with it. If you had been interrogated, if there had been a sequence where you start off on the Nexus after the accident and you're forced to recall under duress the events surrounding your father's death, and they're questioning you like, why did you go down to the planet? What were you doing there? Who ordered this? You know, it would have given a much better introduction to Liam and Cora. It would have given a much better introduction to Ryder. It would have given a much better introduction to the Nexus. And it would have given a much better introduction to the politics of the Nexus. And of course, eventually they will come to let you go. And the same things could have unfolded. You know, Tan would have come to be like, hey, if you succeed, I succeed. And it could have gone from there. But just the way that it played out was not good. You don't get a chance to mourn your father's death. You don't get a chance to really connect with the people in the beginning. And that's bad. So I feel like they should have changed up the beginning of the game a little bit. That would have helped a lot. Now, the meat of the game, the combat in the game, you know, when you're going around exploring and doing the vaults and helping people out, that's fun. That's great. The free roam is cool. But, again, the stakes in this game are very, very low. Very low. And not only are they very low, but it's very linear. It's deceptively linear because although you do make choices in the game, another thing I wrote down is there is a severe lack of the ability to fuck shit up across the board. Now, in the first 3 games, you could fuck shit up. As Shepard, you could fuck shit up royally. Like, you could go in and cause rifts between, you know, colonies. You were slaughtering colonists. You know, you could execute people on a whim. You could decide the fate of a planet, really, on a whim. You never get the chance to fuck shit up. And here's the main thing that they had, the Angara. You never get a chance to fuck up with the Angara. You never get a chance to fuck up with your crewmates, your allies. There is nothing that will make them leave. There is nothing that will make them hate you or turn on you. As, you know, in previous Dragon Age games and previous Mass Effect games, you could do so badly that things would really, really go very badly in the end. Like, people would turn on you. People would die. In the first game, you could kill off the whole council. In the second game, the suicide mission, everyone could end up dead, including Shepard. So it's like, where were those stakes? Where were they? Completely and totally missing. Why? Because they wanted to play it safe. They wanted to, I don't know. I guess they just felt like you don't need these high stakes to make the game good, but those decisions are what make Mass Effect Mass Effect. You have a mass effect on the things going on around you. In this game, when the Angara come, there's no way to make them your enemy. They end up loving you either way. There's no way to explore the good or bad side of what the Nexus previously did with the Exiles. There's no way to take a side there. There's no way to have a bad ending. There's no way to fuck up the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Paragon Renegade, they didn't want to go back there, fine, but there should still be a way to have a very negative impact on the people around you. And not just being lazy and saying, oh, I'm just not going to do this. That's not gameplay. That's just not doing shit. And not doing things doesn't have an impact on the game. Like, you want to be able to get in there and make the little decisions that have a big impact. I mean, there's a choice with the Solarian Arc. And, you know, the Krogan who's on your side. If you let his scouts die, he's upset for a little while, but he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't he doesn't stay mad. He doesn't try to kill you, which I think he should have. Because remember, in the first game, you could piss off Rex to the point where he would actually try to kill you. That never crosses anyone's mind in this game. I don't know. It's just there's a severe lack of the ability to fuck shit up. Just period. And that's a huge oversight. Another thing. There's no way to be the sole Pathfinder. You know, like, again, I already said spoilers, so you already know. The other Pathfinders, the other arcs, you go out of your way to find them. And they come together in some way. But there's no way to just like completely cut them off or kill them or decide which is more important. You as a Pathfinder or the group as a Pathfinder. Like there's no negative side to this game. There's no way to be a bad guy. And you know what, Shepard, it wasn't even like Shepard was a bad guy. It was just reckless. That's the word I'm looking for. You can't be reckless in this game. You can't be reckless with people's lives. You can't be reckless with relationships. You just can't be reckless. Like you are your father's child. That is what you are in this game. And it really is kind of indicative of Andromeda itself. The spawn of Mass Effect, like the spawn of Shepard. Like when your dad dies in the beginning, that's like symbolic of the closing of the first 3 trilogies, and now you just have this child out there who doesn't really know what the fuck they're doing, and it shows. It does show, unfortunately. I don't know. I still enjoyed the game. I do plan on going through it a second time, but you know, just to make different choices. But I really feel like they played it too safe. They didn't give us a chance to go ham. They didn't give us a chance to go crazy. They didn't give us a chance to push people out of windows or, you know, execute people that were begging for forgiveness or condemning whole colonies to death. You know, they never gave us the chance to make those real memorable moments. Like, yeah, we came to Andromeda and we did some shit. And everybody was very grateful. You know, the Angar became our friends. But that's not enough, man. You could have started a civil war on the Nexus. They never give you the option to be, you know, fight for the people who are kicked off of the Nexus. They never give you the option to completely shun the Angara, like you're not part of us. That never happens. And, you know, you never get the chance to piss off any of your allies. Ever. They just become loyal. And that's it. They always stay your friends. They always like you. It's too safe. It's too safe. And it doesn't make it a bad game. But it does kind of make it a bad Mass Effect game. If you see what I'm saying. Alright. I'm just sitting here ranting now. I think anyone who watches this will get the point. Maybe leave a comment. Maybe leave a like. Thanks for watching.